you can see I have a couple different panels going on here in a split screen. This split screen over here, if I expand it to the left, like an accordion, you see that I have the NFL games for the, Arizona Cardinals. So the Cardinals games are just 17, as you may know, as an NFL fan. There's 17 games per team. So with that said, I have over here a upcoming landing page, not too hard to understand. It's a scrollable page. It has a box at the top. You put an email address in there, click these buttons, and you get a calendar invite. It's that simple. So let me go back to here. You'll see it auto collapse. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how data is changed here in the View Events dashboard. So if I go here to the upcoming 17 events, you'll see that these 17 events are mapped to these 17 events. And this data got into the AWS Calendar Invite Server by simply using a copy command. Now, behind the copy command, or what we call a create command for now, this is a Dropbox at a domain on your AWS SES account. It is for ours. So that means metaphorically, if you have an AWS account with SES, this bolts right on, just costs a few $1,000 and you're up and running. The point being is any AWS account holder that has simple email service running, you can use this tech stack to do all kinds of cool things with, in which is up to you to kind of figure out which route you want to go with our tech. However, we believe one of the cooler pieces of the application is the ability to deploy these upcoming landing pages. So with that said, let's just get into it. I'm going to show you how we change data. So you can see this crate at calendarsnack.com. That is a email box, and that email box metaphorically is running right here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to use a calendar invite. I'm going to use a crate at calendarsnack.com for the demo. And this calendar invite is going to get ingested, and it's going to be stored in the storage layer over here, which is we disassemble the calendar invite itself and store and display it. So what I'm going to show you under store and display is just that. It is on a organizer's calendar. You can see that it is mapped to this one over here. It is the same data set. So if I go look at it over here and we view it, this is the same data from the personal calendar mapped into the AWS Calendar Invite Server via this application called Calendar Snack. So how do I change data, particularly around event information here that's going to get sent on the AWS Calendar Invite Server? How does that happen? So that happens over here inside this window. I've already mapped it to create at calendarsnack.com. It's already in the database because I sent it once. Now, if I want to change it, example, I want to go in here and you'll see that I have come to Bob's Hot Dog booth to claim your free meal before the 7th inning stretch. So the demo here is around New Orleans Saints versus Arizona Cardinals. It's right over there. It's round 1 of the Cardinals game schedule. And there's the location here. Here's the location over here. So all this data is auto mapped in here because we eat the calendar data. So with that said, let me say, and you will get a free beer. So I add this in this calendar client over here, which is Mandy's. If you go look, this is managed by TechVader domain, which is my domain for test accounts. The name of the account is mandy@techvader.com. So I'm just going to save this real quick. I said here, and you will get a beer. Well, you see this data set over here. That sentence is not in the message body. I'm over here in the message body. You can see what will happen. When I hit save again, what's going to happen is that we're going to reprocess this calendar invite. So what happens here is if I go back to it and you look at it, you'll see it, and you will get a free beer. Now, what happens over here is I have not refreshed this page over here. So let me just bring it into better scope and not click that button. Let me just move over here and I'll expand it. So I'm going to refresh this page, and you're going to see magically in the event message area, it will show up and you will get a beer. It's right there. How did all that happen? Back to the demo. We ate the data here. It is processed and stored here. Anytime any variables are changed on the organizer's calendar client, we actually resend it back in, and actually we insert into the database a change data capture, a CDC, and under state management, that logic for the storage is here between S3 and DynamoDB. That's the end of the demo. Thanks for stopping by.